Hi, thanks for clicking on the video. My name's Randy. I make all kind of videos about vacations, cruising, Walt Disney World, Universal, Epic Universe, scuba diving, so on and so forth. So if that kind of stuff interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel and supporting me. So Alisa and I just got back from an amazing land and sea vacation, and it was amazing. It was fantastic. We had a great time. I wanted to make a video, and the purpose of today's video is I wanted to explain how we basically dominated and destroyed 2 parks in 2 days. I'm talking about 20-minute or less wait time on 2 Walt Disney World parks in June. Now, if you want a little bit of a spoiler, you can go back on my channel and check on a previous video that I made where I talk about how you should absolutely go to Disney World, Walt Disney World right now. So feel free to go back in the channel and check that one out, because that one gives probably the main reason why we were able to do what we did as far as dominating the 2 parks. So first thing I want to say is reason number 1 that we were able to dominate was we are DVC members. Okay, so what this does is it gave us access to the deluxe resorts at Walt Disney World, and this gives you a tremendous advantage when it comes to visiting the theme parks at Walt Disney World. First of all, you get early access, exclusive early access, and you get early access in 2 ways. The first way you get early access is if you want to take advantage of the multi-pass lightning system and reserve your multi-pass lightning lanes, you can do so 7 full days earlier than the regular public. That is a huge advantage into getting the rides that you want and the times that you want for Walt Disney World. So we had access to that. Secondly, the other reason why it's a huge advantage is when you stay at a Walt Disney World deluxe resort, you get early access into the parks. You get a full 30-minute head start to most, well, I don't want to say most, to a good majority of the rides at Walt Disney World theme parks. And that is just a huge advantage over the public. So keep that in mind. We had access to those benefits. Secondly, the other reason why I think we dominated the parks is quite simply, Alisa and I are extremely experienced veterans. Her and I have been going to Walt Disney World and all parks, including Disney Springs, for the better part of, oh my goodness, 30 years. Okay, so we've been going to Disney for quite a long time. So we basically know all the, I don't know about all, we know a lot of all the ins and outs and tricks of Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, etc., etc. And by the way, please feel free if you have any questions about anything at all with regards to the parks. Again, I don't think I'm an expert, but I've been there so much I can probably answer most questions. Feel free to drop any question you might have down in the comments. So, experience. We know which rides to ride and probably when is the better time to ride them. Thirdly, both days, we of course took advantage of our early access at Rope Drop. We were at the Rope Drop. We were at the click-in with your magic bands probably an hour or more earlier than when the park opened. And of course, we took advantage of those 30 minutes that I mentioned earlier. So we did that for both days. And then the rest of the reasons why I think we dominated is because we know, Alisa and I know, that if something doesn't work out if we don't get a certain ride, in a trip, if we don't get that certain ride in, because we go to Disney so much, we know it's not a big deal. We know, hey, if we miss it this time, we'll check it out next time. And that actually happened to us on this vacation. For our Hollywood Studios Day, which was the second day of our vacation, the plan was we were going to rope drop, i.e. go straight to Slinky Dog, and then we were going to take advantage of our lightning lanes after that. Well, Slinky Dog was down. So that was a major, twist and would probably devastate most people. But we're experienced, so we knew how to pivot and still take advantage and rode everything we wanted to ride at Hollywood Studios. Unfortunately, Hollywood Studios didn't open Slinky Dog for most of the day, so we didn't get a chance to ride it. But like I said, that's okay. It's not a deal breaker because we know we're going to be back very, very soon. For Alisa and I only had two goals. Alisa only had one. The overall goal was to show my sister and her family an amazing time, and I think we did that. And then secondly, speaking only for myself, I wanted to ride, of course, the new Tiana's Bayou, the updated version of Splash Mountain, and also I wanted to ride Tron at night. That was one of the things that I wanted to do. I've heard that Tron was a different experience if you ride it at night when the sun is down, and I wanted to take advantage of that, and I did. And side note, it absolutely is a different experience, and it's one that I highly recommend now. So basically, when you add all that up, you come to the realization of why my wife and I were able to dominate those two parks. Magic Kingdom was ridiculously easy. We rope drop Mine Train, and then from there, we actually walked on to Peter Pan, and then from there we saw that Tiana's, even though we had a lightning lane for it, Tiana's at close to 11 o'clock had like a 5 or 10 minute wait at the time. So we went ahead and walked on to Tiana, canceled that lightning lane, and added something else. And it was crazy because when we got off of Tiana's at about 11:20 or so, 11:30 a.m. in the morning, the ride jumped to, all of a sudden it was a 45-minute wait. So that worked out really well for us. So Magic Kingdom was basically a breeze. And what I did as far as Tron, I went ahead and paid the single rider lightning lane for myself, and I enjoyed that ride with Ray and his daughter, Chewie, Kylie. All three of us experienced Tron at night, and we all loved it. It was absolutely outstanding. So that was Magic Kingdom. Okay, and of course we did Pirates, and basically we did everything that we wanted at Magic Kingdom. Again, going back to my previous video of why you should go to Disney right now, as you're going to see in these pictures and videos, the crowds were very, very low. And then the second day we went to Hollywood Studios, and again, I told you about the mishap with Slinky Dog, so that was a pivot. But again, we just went ahead and rode Toy Story Mania, and we rode everything that we rode. Tower of Terror. Kylie was the only one. She was the only one that was brave enough to ride it with me, so her and I rode it. And her and I also, we did Rock and Roller. Rock and Roller was the only one that we didn't have the multi-pass lightning lane for, because of course it's a tier 1. But that was, I think, the only wait that we had that was approaching 20 minutes. That's the only time that we actually had to really wait in line in those 2 entire days. So it was fantastic. It was outstanding. And again, we rode everything that we wanted to. We rode Mickey's Runaway Train. We did all that stuff. And, Millennium Falcon, all that good stuff. So again, it was an incredible vacation. Again, no more than 20-minute wait. We absolutely dominated, and that's how we did it. So stay tuned, because in the very near future, I'm going to be talking about specifics about not only Walt Disney World, but our first, Alisa and I's first experience with my sister and all on the Disney Wish, the cruise of the Disney Wish. That's coming up really, really soon. So you'll want to hang around from that. And thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one.